السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإن عاقبتم فعاقبوا بمثل ما عوقبتم به ولئن صبرتم لهو خير للصابرين. صلوات. So we are speaking on the rights of the one who wrongs you. This is in the light of the discourse of Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu salam on the system of rights in Islam. So we discussed that how he explained the rights of the person who does something that causes your anger. What should you do and how you should deal with him? So we discussed different aspects of this issue. Today, we are going to continue the same topic with few more issues to discuss in this. First of all, the word forgiving in Arabic is al-afu. Afu means to forgive. And the one who forgives, he is afin or mu'afin, the one who forgives. One of the names of Allah is Al-Afu, not Af, not Mu'af. Al-Afu. Afu is a word which shows the action in excess. Just like Raziq. Raziq is the person who gives the sustenance, but Razzaq, the one who gives sustenance in abundance. The same thing, Al-Afu. Al-Afu, someone who just forgives one time, two times, little bit of forgiveness. But Al-Afu, who forgives a lot. And this is true, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives us. And His forgiveness has no comparison with any other forgiveness. Why? Because see that when we are doing anything which is against will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and especially things, deeds, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised some punishment for them. So Allah is going to punish a person who does anything wrong. And in this punishment, He is just. So God has the right to punish us. Why? Because He has told us earlier in advance, don't do this, otherwise you will get this punishment. Still we do it, and still Allah forgives us. Now we always want Allah to forgive us, but what is our own behavior with other people? So do we forgive others? No. How can I forgive him? He did this to me. then how can Allah forgive you? Why should you come to Allah to ask for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? If you are not able to forgive His servants, His creation. So this is a very important point, and I think we have discussed this a few weeks earlier on the same topic, and I had referred the ayat from Quran in which Allah says, فَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا. The mu'mineen should forgive and ignore. Many times if you ignore the mistakes of people, you don't need even to come to the stage of forgiving. Don't even let somebody feel that you noticed his mistake. Ignore. The more power Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, the more power and ability you should have to ignore the mistakes of other people. Once you start picking, and making big deals of little things, you put yourself in trouble. So, وَلْيَصْفَحُوا means just ignore. Let it go. Don't even look at it. Think, if somebody is doing a mistake, don't take it very serious. Unless really the mistake is something that you should take it serious. Yeah. It depends. But little things, if you analyze the conflict that happens between two individuals or two groups, a big percentage of that conflict is based on little things which could be ignored in the beginning. And both parties could avoid the issues to reach to any complexity. In families especially, between husband and wife, brothers and sisters, sister and sister, friends, and overall the community, see that if you go into the details of the conflict, you will find things very simple and little and easy to deal with, which have been, very serious now, and both of them have taken it as a big deal. So, وَلْيَصْفَحُوا. But this is not it. فَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا. You should forgive and ignore. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that. But see, the end of the ayah is this. أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. Don't you like that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should forgive you? Don't you? Yeah, I want that Allah forgive me. If you want Allah forgive you, why not forgiving other people? أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ. Don't you love that Allah forgive you? Yes, I love Allah to forgive me. Then forgive others. The more you forgive others, the more Allah will forgive you. And the best possibility of seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by forgiving other people. And believe me, if there are so many ayat and ahadith on that, and we have discussed so many things, if you forgive people, if you forgive them, especially those who deserve forgiveness, there are many people who deserve this, forgiveness, and we discussed this issue also, and some don't. Sometimes forgiveness may cause more issues. Then yes, you have to seek some other means to deal with such situation. But not always. Most of the time, forgiveness is the first option, as Imam has said, كَثِيرٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ. He didn't say the entire humanity deserves, every single human being deserves forgiveness. No, he didn't say that. He says kathir, many people, most of the people. So in that situation, you see that when you forgive, this causes the best way that you can seek forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without even asking for forgiveness. Laylatul Qadr, for example. Laylatul Qadr is one of the nights in the whole night, in the whole year, that every believer waits for. You wait for Ramadan, and in Ramadan you wait for Laylatul Qadr, for the night of Qadr. It's so important night that Quran talks about it as khayrum min alfi shahr. It is better than 1,000 months, the entire human life. One human life span. It is better than 80 years. One night. So you wait for that one night, but there are ahadith that yes, when you go and keep vigil in this night and continue invoking Allah's name in the whole night and asking for forgiveness, Allah will forgive you. It is promised from Allah. But the condition is that if you have any grudge for anybody in your heart, any mu'min, so before you come for those specific du'as and invocations and those supplications, you have to forgive the person in order to be able to seek the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it makes you deserving of Allah's forgiveness. What is better than this? If I forgive my enemy, anybody who is my personal enemy, remember, we should not get confused. I have explained this many times. I'm talking only about my personal enemy. I have no right to forgive somebody else's enemy. Somebody who wronged me, I can forgive him. So our topic is this. I'm not talking about forgiving somebody else's wrongdoer. So when I forgive somebody, I forgive him. And this way, I am seeking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I know that if I forgive him, Allah will forgive me. What a good deal. Is there any deal better than this? For sure. And that's why there are many good things that you can do for many people. How about if I am the wrongdoer? So we are talking about someone who is oppressed, who has been wronged by someone. But how about the wrongdoer? If the one who I wronged is not forgiving me in this world, see the rahmat of Allah, see Allah's mercy. What I can do now? He's not forgiving me. I'm trying to ask forgiveness from him. He is not forgiving me. He is very hard. Or my mistake was so hard and harsh that he is not forgiving me for that. That's what I can do. And Allah will not forgive us unless the person will forgive me. So the doors are closed. Yes, if you are not trying, the doors are closed. But if you're really trying your best, sincerely, to convince him to forgive you, asking for forgiveness sincerely. Many times what happens, that people come and say sorry, but the issue is still there. They don't want to resolve the issue and say sorry. Right? This has have happened in the history many times. Janab Fatima salamullah alayha, the daughter of the Prophet, did not even reply to the salam of some people who came to ask for apparently forgiveness, but the issue still was there without resolving the issue. So Islam is a religion of balance. We don't see, I didn't find any command in Islam which is just one way. talking to one party. You do this, you be nice, you be nice, you be kind, you be good, you be forgiving. And is not talking about the other person. No, both. For the other person, Allah is saying, you have to ask for forgiveness immediately. Immediately. If you did something wrong to somebody, if you did it purposely, this is a big sin. And you have to ask for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or from Him, both. But if you did mistake, something happened mistakenly, so you have to go. Ask for forgiveness immediately. Don't delay. So this is for him. And for this person, forgive him immediately. If he is asking for, don't even wait for him to ask you for forgiveness. Forgive him before he comes to you. Look, the balance. How beautiful is this? And this is very hard. Both sides is hard. Somebody who has done a mistake, it is hard for him to say sorry. And yeah, maybe he can say sorry with words, but to rectify the damage, yeah, this is even harder. So when you say sorry, you have to clear all the issues. If you have done mistake and you have no point to convince him, you say, okay, really, I agree. It was a mistake from me. Please forgive me. And the other person should forgive you. Both sides. But what happens if he is not forgiving you? What should you do? So see the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You start now asking Allah for forgiveness. Be sincere. Wholeheartedly you say, oh Allah, this happened from me as a mistake, or I did it purposely, now I regret. Ya Allah, forgive me, but I know you will never forgive unless He will forgive me. Ya Allah, you put in his heart the love and compassion. Forgive me. Make his heart softer. Now you're asking Allah. So why you are sincere? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, He can, of course, make him forgive you in this world. But if he is really very hard and very harsh with you and say, no, I will take revenge from you. How dare you do this? This is possible. But still you should know what you have done wrong. In the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask this person, this guy who is not forgiving you. You will be there. This person also will be there. You are sincere. You are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have done good deeds after that. You have forgiven. You yourself have forgiven many people. Just to seek one forgiveness from one person. Because this is the life. In this life, you sometimes do mistake. Some other people do mistake. You wrong somebody. Somebody wrongs you. This is the life. In such a situation, somebody wronged you, you forgive him. And say, oh Allah, I forgive this person. Just to seek the forgiveness of this person who I wronged. He wronged me and I wronged other person. But I forgave him, he is not forgiving me. Ya Allah, now you help me. So if you are sincere, what will happen? That in the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will talk to this person who didn't forgive you. He said, forgive him. He said, Ya Allah, you are the just. I was waiting for this day today, so I can seek my revenge from this zalim who wronged me. Now he's saying, forgive him? I don't want to forgive him. So it's fine. If you don't forgive him, it's fine. But look, if you forgive him, I will give you this. How about that? If you forgive him, I will forgive you. Not just forgive you, I will give more. He might say, no, Ya Allah, this is not enough. What else? I need this. Yes, okay, I will give you this also. So Allah will convince him until he gets happy, and he forgives you in the day of judgment. So it will be kind of a deal. Okay, you forgive him, I will forgive you. No, this is not enough, Ya Allah, because I have only one thing, and it is I can forgive him. This is what I have. But you have more than forgiveness, Ya Allah. You have so much things. I will not forgive him until I get this and this and this and this. But when this happens, if the person is really sincere, and this person also deserves forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everything is balanced in Islam. The bottom line is that Allah is al-afu. Allah is forgiving. Al-afu. In Salatul Layl, you also say al-afu. Al-afu with tajdeed is different. Al-afu means forgiveness. Al-afu, the one who forgives in abundance. Means a lot of things he forgives. Not just afin, the person who is forgiving just one time, two times. No, he always forgives. He is al-afu, and the mu'min should have the characteristics of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in him. All those characteristics that he can follow, he should follow those characteristics. He should be Jawad, he should be Kareem, he should be Rahim, right? He should have all those. One of them is he should be Afu. He should be forgiving. أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَنْ يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ. Don't you like that Allah forgives you? This is so beautiful. Now, last week I read an ayah, and today also in the beginning from Surah Nahl, ayat number 124. That ayah, it says, وَإِنْ عَاقِبْتُمْ فَعَاقِبُوا بِمِثْلَ مَا عُوقِبْتُمْ بِهِ. If you want to punish somebody, it's fine, you have the right that. Why? Because somebody has wronged you, you want to take your revenge, you have to take. But you have to bring him to justice. You cannot take the law in your hand. You cannot do it yourself. Or he did this to me, I will do this to him. No. You have to bring him to. Why? Because the judge will decide that really what he deserves, what kind of punishment he deserves. Why? The reason is in this ayat. I'm going to recite another ayah. Why? Because in this ayah Allah says, you have, if you want to punish him exactly according to his mistake. وَإِن صَبَرْتُمْ, if you show your patience, لَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لِلصَّابِرِينَ, then it will be good and better for those who show their patience. In another ayah in Surah Shura, ayat number 40, another beautiful ayah, and see the balance in Islamic system of rights. It's amazing. Unfortunately, in the media, people look and see and hear and watch totally a different aspect of the issue, while Islam has nothing to do with what they attribute to Islam, has nothing to do with those things. Misconceptions, misrepresentations, many things you see. This is Islam, the true Islam. وَجَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ مِثْلُهَا. The punishment of a wrong is exactly the same what he has done, equal to what he has done wrong. The punishment should be equal, not more than that. فَمَنْ عَفَى, but who forgives? Surah Shura, ayat number 40. But who forgives? Look, always forgiveness is always more encouraged and emphasized and recommended. فَمَنْ عَفَى وَأَصْلَحَ, and who forgives, and after forgiveness he makes friendship to rectify Aslah, not just, okay, I forgive you. No. After forgiveness, you show as nothing has happened, you're still talking with him, you are his friend, everything is fine. Don't keep it in your mind. It's called forgive and forget both. وَأَصْلَحَ, not just forgive, but keep it in your heart. Forgive and forget. وَأَصْلَحَ فَأَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ, his ajr, his thawab, his reward will be on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّهُ, why it is hard? The time is over, but we might talk on it more. The reason is when you try to take punishment by yourself, it is most likely that you will enter to a place where it makes you zalim and the other person becomes madlum. It's very hard. How can you mithliha? Exactly the same punishment. How can you do that? Unless you go less punishment. But you will not get such, satisfied for less punishment. If less punishment is better, no punishment. Right? So, and if you do more punishment, then you become zalim. So don't think that when you want to show your hard attitude and say, no, I'm not going to forgive him. It's not easy for you too. It's hard, it's going to be, you will be in trouble, not him. Because if you want to take punishment, the condition is, it should be with justice. Are you able to maintain justice? Or make less or equal. How can you do equal? You cannot do it unless you bring it to a just person who can judge, and this is what we call bring it to the court. Don't take the laws in your hands. So somebody will decide that really what is equal punishment to him. Many things we can discuss inshallah, and as I said, we have to conclude this in two more inshallah khutbahs, and we'll move to next khutbah, which is very, very inshallah important. إن أحسن الحديث وأبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.